Mario Hemsley, Twitter. Pack Stereo, Twitch. Pack Stereo, Twitter. LinkedIn, Mario Hemsley. Pack Stereo TV, YouTube, Roku. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, verify your broadcast, gentlemen. Verify. Seek. Good morning. All right.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Let's get down on the good news train. Have your morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Get the 311 before the morning's done. Laugh until you cry. You can always rely on morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Morning coffee with Mario.
Yes. So good to be here. I know. Contain your excitement. I too am excited. And it saved me a full $10 this morning. So what can I say? I hope you guys are up like me. I started the day with 2 Red Bulls and a Viagra just to make sure I was ready for this show. And all I can say, it was a little bit hard getting into the seat, but I'm ready to go. So what can I say? It's a wonderful morning indeed, and it's a wonderful day. And let me tell you something, even though you see me when you first tune in, and I designed this ship, and I know it like the back of my hand. But the man who drives this ship, the man who has his fingers on the controls, on the pulse of Pack Stereo TV, as it were, is none other than the talented man that the ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate. Give it up, Victor Allen.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Can you hear me? I want to make sure, because Mario always goes, check audio. Check audio. I got audio, don't I?
Yes, you do, brother.
Yes, I do. Let me first do this because I recognize I don't have to say anything to them in the room. Recognizing my Facebook fans, Big Old Live, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. Follow me. Well, I mean, I don't know where I'm going, but follow me. So I'm having a good day. Did you get over last week?
Yes.
Are you in a better place?
I am a better place, even though today, okay, internet dating, I'm telling you, next week we're going to have a special segment on internet dating and cryptocurrency. So that's what we're going to, that's my feature segment next week. I'm going to talk to you about how cryptocurrency is affecting online dating. Okay. But I can say this. I got to give a report because your boy has actually sorted through over 40 female contacts. And I understand the women told me they get hundreds. And I thought 40 was killing me. I couldn't keep up with 40. I'm not a player. I can't handle it. It's too much, too fast. Wow. It's too much, you guys. I don't, the internet dating, they come in. And here's the thing about internet dating. You cannot do just one. Since 80% is fake, you got to do like 10 and sort out one person. So internet dating is causing me to revert to a set of skills that have long gone dormant. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you how I'm handling it. Because we have help. The old players, OG, ladies and gentlemen, give it up to the man who's helping us, Omari Bakari.
Oh, yeah.
The OG.
All right, bro. Good morning.
Online dating.
Well, I don't know about the help with the online dating, but we certainly going to talk about some historic shit today. I'm going to take y'all back to Maryland and my little... How long is my segment? 2 minutes?
Just like sex.
How much time y'all
like
give me?
sex.
It's going to be quick. You guys better stay tuned. It's going to be quick. It's like sex. Speaking of that, I had a conversation with some young brothers this weekend about what happens when you turn 60. So, but anyway, my segment today will be on historic East Towson, one of the oldest black communities in the state of Maryland, founded in 1865. And we're going to talk about the Hampton Plantation organization and what they're doing as well.
Right on, my brother. Right on. Oh yeah.
All right. So like I said, we all had weekends. It was very much a weekend of change and things happening. A lot of stuff going on in the news, and that's going to prompt what we're talking about today. My hot topic for the day, I told you, is the age of consent. And we're going to be talking about the age of consent, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. So get ready for that. But before that, let's just get our routine in. Alexa, sing Good Morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
And Alexa, rap.
Shout out to Mary Jackson, her generosity and passion. NASA pioneer, aerospace engineer, job was segregated, she wasn't intimidated, worked her way up to the most senior title. It was clear that her research was vital. She took a demotion to encourage promotion of women, minorities to positions of authority, equal opportunity, affirmative action. It gained traction, a chain reaction. Honors and awards cut stereotypical chords. Humanitarian, a great American. Let's hear it from Mary. Miss Jackson, if you're NASA.
Wow. Man.
I'm a little disappointed that she played that yesterday, Mario.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
2 days in a row.
I asked her. She said that we didn't pay to get in here.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
All right, you guys. Today is Memorial Day, originally known as Decoration Day, and it's a federal holiday in the United States for mourning the U.S. military personnel who have died while serving in the United States Armed Forces. Understand that. These are individuals who have made the ultimate sacrifice. They died in service. Today is Memorial Day. It is a day unlike other days. We have so many holidays here in the United States, but this is one that even those of us who are the most leftists or the most conservative, we can come together for Memorial Day because we know that the individuals that we are celebrating, they paid the ultimate price. It's already been paid. And so for us two here at Pack Stereo, we take a moment, just a moment, to say thank you so much for your service. Thank you to your family who has had to endure the loss of you, all of them, the children who never will know, those people who have given that ultimate sacrifice. We say to you, God bless you today on Memorial Day.
And to those who are serving on this day and beyond, no doubt, recognize 100.
So the topic for today, you all, the topic for today is the age of consent. The age of consent, and what's so funny, you know, I posted some stuff about the age of consent, and it seems to have started kind of a thread on Facebook. And people were, you know, posting and actually getting into arguments and stuff, and which is what you have to admit, that's, you know, as long as you're not killing each other, I'm kind of okay with it. So, you know, it was kind of nice, and people were arguing. But you know what was the shock to me was what people were arguing about. It wasn't that I actually told Omari last night, I said, Omari, take a look at this. I said, okay, so we're going to talk about the age of consent, but most of the comments are people who are criticizing other cultures for what they perceive to be a lack of concern in this area. So it started out with someone accusing Afghans And then everybody was chiming in. It went from the white man to the black man to the yellow man.
Conspiracy.
Right.
It's always the men, by the way, of course, and that's part of it. But what everyone seems to have been talking about is really pointing the finger. So I wanted to take a look at the topic. And also, because I can actually add my own personal experience, because as a 30-year pediatrician, emergency, intensive care, critical care, I came up against this all the time in the ER. Okay, I came up. Sometimes you got to make that call, and here come the police. Okay, but being a pediatrician that worked in the emergency room, I saw abuse, all kinds of abuse, and sexual abuse is just one of the kinds of abuse. So, we're going to talk about the age of consent, but because I didn't want it to get all over the place, I kind of sorted it down into a few little areas. And let me get some of my literature. Because I have my literature, my information. Okay, first of all, let's talk about what is consent. See, everybody's got a different understanding. What is consent? Consent is the legal minimum age at which a person can consent to participation in sexual intercourse. Okay, notice they said intercourse. And let me make one point clear to everyone. There is no uniform age of consent. I need to say it again. There's no uniform age of consent. That means the United States varies. In the United States, the age of consent ranges from 16 to 18. That means if you are 15 years of or age or younger, you cannot legally consent. But the age in the United States ranges from 16 to 18. Persons who have sex with people under these ages could be charged with statutory rape, which is a term that's not used everywhere. Now in California, we have illegal intercourse. You have some places where it's called unlawful knowledge of a minor. It's a lot of things. But that's the age of consent. Now, before we get started, because you probably gonna change your mind during this discussion. Why does consent exist? Now I'm gonna query my esteemed panel here just to see what they think. Because remember, it's just to see what you think. So Amari, you staring at me. Amari, and as you move your mic closer and forward, then you're gonna.
Consent, I would say every person should have the right to say what or what doesn't happen to them or their body. Every person should have the right to believe whatever it is they want to believe and do whatever it is they want to do. You got that right. Now, whether or not we agree with that, I just believe everyone should have the right to control them, their body, their thoughts.
So the question is, and we do, it's kind of universal, but the question would then become, what age? How about you, Vic? What is your perceptions?
My perception is that when man sits back and gives a number, and they say age of consent is 18, I just add plus 3 or 4 more years because I don't trust the whole issue with men because they're always doing that as a control and power thing. And I think individually, it is so hard to get a universal kind of agreement because of different cultures.
Right.
So for me, it is something I've basically said, try to stay far away from the boundaries in your country. Don't get close to that lane. The age is 18. I'm so thankful that I'm much older now. I don't even have to revisit it, but I do understand this. You got to have something to say because we have children. You have to have guidance. And I can imagine Mario sitting up here going through a lot of people arguing on this, and now is raising his head. And I can't wait to see what the universal answer is, because it won't be universally agreed upon. People are going to have arguments.
Well, that's why I wanted to break it down. See, so let's get to the first part. So the age of consent exists to protect young women from men, older men. Let's say that again. The age of consent exists to protect young women from older men. Now, I had to make sure I said older. Now, why did I have to say older? Every society, for the most part, looks at a young man and a young girl of approximately the same age and giving it. No one seems to want to criminalize that. They're trying to protect the younger women from older men, not necessarily from men their own age, because everybody kind of somehow recognizes the forces of nature in young people, and almost no one wants to criminalize that. So, almost everywhere you look, whatever the age of consent is, there are conditions. There are conditions to that consent. Some places it has to do with parental permission for people to get married. But there are conditions for people to do this. So if you look everywhere, it has to do with the age of the guy. Now let me tell you my experience in the emergency room. Because you had to actually run to the wall to look at a chart because it changed.
That's right.
In my 30-year career, it probably changed 5 or 6 times. Right. Okay, so age of consent, especially in the state of California, has everything to do with the age difference between the parties. In most places, again, it may be changed today, but in most places, if the male is within 2 to 3 years of age of the female, it's handled differently. Sometimes the 3 is a cutoff. So let's just say safely, if she's 13 and he's 15, if she's 14 and he's 16, if she's 15 and he's 17, the police are most likely not going to get involved in California. Parents can make a claim and try to do more, but it is a difference. Amari, I can see.
He can't wait.
Come on.
Yeah, because I got some homeboys that there's a year difference, 17 and 18. Now maybe that doesn't apply to Compton, Watts, South LA, but there's some young brothers who, a little high school, they go off to college and have some type of relationship with a young girl that's still in high school, and they become, they get on that list. What's the list called? The sex offender for the rest of their lives. Now they're 18 years old. They first year in college. They what happens to them? So I'm saying, I know for a fact, I know people who are great people, great guys who have been who are on that sex offender list, and they've had to live that way their entire adult life because of that one issue.
Well, there's no question. I can tell you this, that it's very selective. I can tell you it depends who answers the phone. When I was in the ER, sometimes you call them with something you think is nothing, and the person on the other line wants to take it to the nth degree. Other times you call them with things that you think are horrible, and they want to talk about refer for next week. So that's too much power to put into one individual. The issue we always had was standardization.
When you say one individual, you're talking about the
social worker who's on call.
Right.
That you call in the middle of the night and say you have a 14-year-old whose physical exam shows that someone has been sexually handling her genitals. She's got bruises all over her labia and a hymenal tear, so somebody's been doing her. Okay, now the question is, what does that mean? Because again, the age. So let me give you some information. We sort of got the part that we know that the consent exists. We know it exists to protect young girls from men. Does anyone have older men? Does anyone have an issue just with the basic understanding that most societies struggle when it's too young people?
Right.
Is everybody kind of okay with that? Like treating a 14 and a 15-year-old differently than a 14 and an 18-year-old?
Yes.
Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody. If it's
Yeah,
she's
but, you know,
14
I
and
think
he's
that-
18,
So it's just like the legislators who create these laws. I just think that our values, we have a value system that says, no, I don't want no 18-year-old boy messing with my 14-year-old daughter like that. But somebody created this law, and they put these two numbers there.
and then she's 15, it's different. Cause let's be real.
It depends. If you're the dad, it might not be.
It might be different. Let's be real. Let's talk about the realness of this. In every neighborhood, there are women that everybody in the neighborhood is waiting for them to turn 18. Everybody's going,
Yeah.
hey man, she's 17. She's
You
17.
hear it. You hear it.
They can look at Omari. Look at Omari's
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, you hear it. The talk is all around you. It's all around you.
Yeah.
And Mario, let me ask you this: while you're giving out, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the questions, were you thinking like that? Because when we're younger, the one question I had coming, how well are we taught and educated as
Well,
we're young?
no, when I was younger, I didn't care because if I was 16 and 17, I was trying to get at them at 16 and,
Right,
and 17. I wasn't waiting for them to turn 18.
Which most in high school are going through anyway.
Well, that's
right?
and that's why the law is trying not to criminalize
Right.
young men for their fanciness toward young women.
And so what you're saying is, the law is not worried about the young teenagers. They're worried about old men
Old
and
men.
kids. That's what it is. It's always been.
But what
about
if
that.
it's an old man? See, I think you got to take into account some other things. That's why I think you got to have some room for individualizing it. Because if you have a very immature older guy, he may be 22 with the social skills of a 17 years old.
Right.
And in that case, he may bond with a young girl of 17. She
Right,
may be
right.
17, he may be 24. Now, when they bring them in front of you, now if you're the judge and they march them in, the girl may be 17 going on 30.
Right.
And the guy may be 24 going on 12.
Right.
Okay, and so you could kind of, I think there should be some room for, because I've seen them. I'm not trying, I'm just telling you. I've seen 13-year-olds that look 20.
Right.
Okay? Right. And I'm thinking, oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm just thinking, oh, whew. You know, it's hard for them ones who blossom early, but we all know.
So
Audrey Parrish, are you out there?
No, that's jacked up. Audrey.
She don't mind. That's my friend.
Audrey.
She was one of my young friends
you.
who was a woman in high school. She had the body of better than most grown women.
And right now, you're smiling, Audrey. I can tell.
Well, I'm
'cause I can
thinking
see her
that she
smile.
had the body.
Right.
Ooh.
Now, Mario.
Lord.
Do you have a better understanding why you got, and I'm not talking about the weapon, the shotgun mentality of fathers protecting their daughters?
Oh, I would be
You
ready
under-
to kill.
See?
But, you know, here's the problem. And the inconsistency. I really have a dislike for the sexualization of our young women. See, we sexualize them and then expect men to ignore that. You start dressing them like women and at 12 and putting on thongs and all this. It's not appropriate to me. You're dressing them to make them attractive to older men, and then you're relying on the old men's ability to withstand temptation. I don't like this, even though sometimes it's inevitable. I can tell you, at some point, the young girl is transitioning to womanhood. Okay? And just like the young men, it's a confusing period in there.
Yeah.
Okay? And you can't trust them because what they want to do ain't what they need to do. That's hormonal and natural. So it's not easy as we think. That's the one thing that I'm saying. It's not as easy, and there's always exceptions to the rule. So anyway, let me tell you, because I'm going to tell you the age of consent in the United States. Because remember I said it ranges from 16 to 18. So I can tell you, first of all, most places is 16. You go, oh. Okay,
Wow.
Alabama, 16.
Wow.
Alaska, 16. Arizona, 18. Arkansas, 16. California, 18. Colorado, 17. Connecticut, 16. Washington, D.C., 16. Delaware, 18. So you better be careful in borders. If you in D.C., don't go over to Delaware. Don't go over to Florida, 18. And you know what they're doing in Florida, because we're going to come to that in a minute, what they enforce. Georgia, 16. Hawaii, 16. Idaho, 18. Illinois, 17. Indiana, 16. Iowa, 16. Kansas, 16. Kentucky, 16. Louisiana, 17. Maine, 16. Maryland, 16. Massachusetts, 16. Michigan, 16. Minnesota, 16. Mississippi, 16. Missouri, 17. Montana, 16. Nebraska, 17. Nevada, 16. New Hampshire, 16. New Jersey, 16. New Mexico, 17. Have you heard of 18? Have you heard one
Not
yet?
yet. Not
Have
yet.
you heard
man.
one?
Wow. Wow.
New York, 17. North Carolina, 16. North Dakota, 18. Ohio, 16. Oklahoma, 16. Oregon, 18. Pennsylvania, 16. Rhode Island, 16. South Carolina, 16. South Dakota, 16. Tennessee, 18. Texas, 17. Utah, 18. Vermont, 16. Virginia, 18. Washington State, 16. West Virginia, 16. Wisconsin, 18. And Wyoming, 18.
Right now, I want Mario to give me the sound effect that he believes 16 to 18-year-olds right now are listening to this show. Are they saying yay or boo?
Well, they probably saying boo.
Yes. Right.
But hey, here's the thing that I tell everybody. And I tell this, when I talk to the teens, I tell them this. You will be hard pressed to find anyone who will say to you, I wish I had started having sex earlier.
Right. Yeah.
You won't find the men saying that.
Right. Right. Right.
No one says, I wish I had started having sex earlier. No one. Okay, so figure that one out. Okay, I tell them, I say, go ask your mama. Go ask people. Why is there no one saying, gee, I wish I had started having sex earlier? And the young people look at me, they give me a look, I say, well, go ask somebody.
Mario, did you play the dozens when you were young?
That's
Just rolled off your mouth 2 weeks. Go ask your mama. Go ask your mama.
Well, I got a follow-up question myself. I have a follow-up question myself because it's important.
Oh, Barry.
It's important.
It's impotent.
It's impotent.
I'm impotent.
It's important.
Oh, I'm important.
But here's the question. How many men in this room have been semi-threatened or challenged at a young age when they were seeing a father's daughter who gave the keep your ass away? Anybody in this room gone through that?
I got a story.
There you
Well,
go.
so I was going to answer the question earlier. Where I grew up,
Right.
everybody knew everybody's parents, and at
Right.
best, I was just hopeful. But I didn't have no plan for none of the girls, and we had some very attractive young ladies that I grew up with. But
Compton.
beyond being hopeful, I was trying to get, for me, I think that when I was in high school and girls became attracted to me and I started noticing them,
Right.
I just couldn't figure. No one told me what to say, so it was like, did they just walk up to you and hand it to you, or
Right.
you had to have? So it took me a minute. I had to learn how to talk shit to some of my homies before I figured out. Okay, well, this is not what you say to the girls. Talk to the girls. So I was just hopeful.
Okay. Mario, you got your story? Because I think we all should share the stories at that age so we can kind of relate with the story.
I graduated high school at 16, turned 17 that July, and went to Howard. When I came home at the end of my freshman year, my friend across the street, who I'd grown up with, who was still in high school, remember, I had just been in college 1 year. So I came home, and my friend across the street, who I grew up with, was having a party. I go to the party and meet this girl, and everybody said, yeah, we wanted you to meet her. And I meet this girl. She is so fine, and I'm hitting on her. And at one point, I'm kissing on her. And then my friend says, she's 14. I said, take it. She said, but Mario, you ain't, but I think I hadn't even turned 18 yet. So I was still 17. But I said, I'm in college. I'm a college man. Even though I'm 17, I'll be 18 in a few days. And she said, well, she's 14. She'll be 15 in a month. I said, and she's just smiling.
Wow.
Now, I know her today.
Right.
Are you still kissing her?
No, she probably laughed and she said, Mario.
Is she listening now?
I don't know, but I'm just saying.
All right.
That I was shocked and then again, I was really still 17 legally. I hadn't turned 18 till July, so I was still 17. The girl was 14, about to turn 15, but I was like freaking out, and she was full woman. You should have seen her,
Right.
Lord. And luckily, I didn't do nothing but kiss her. But in a minute, here lies Mario. It's the same old song. Putting his hands where they didn't belong.
It's so funny. Everybody got this story. I have one, and then it just somehow or another I dropped off the face of the planet. It's always the neighborhood when you're 14 or 15 because you don't know anything else. So for me, I never approached women because at this time, black men, dark-skinned black men, were not preferred, and I was told this over and over
Blackie.
again. I was talked about, Sambo, Africa's blackest child, which I'm not that dark.
So when did the chocolate sexy thing come in?
Mario made that up.
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, Mario
It came
made that
in
up.
with Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
I remember when it
60
happened.
years later, huh?
Yeah.
When we were in high school, if you were black with green eyes and light skin, it was
Right.
in.
So
One day they wasn't in
Right.
no more.
So I remember one day on the bus, new neighbor was across the street. Yeah, it's a new neighbor, it's a girl, okay. But I had already had this doctrine. Nobody wants you because you're talked about in the whole neighborhood. She got off the bus one day, was walking side by side, I think it was 15. And she was just, how you staring at somebody like they took your money or something? And she did the grab and leaned me over for my first ever kiss. And I sat there and went, that's my best new friend. I'm going to visit her, which I would visit her when her parents were gone. And then one day I went over there and the parents was coming home up in the driveway and I scurried out. And I said, cool, I'm going to go to the liquor store. Of course, the guy said, well, I'm
Go
going
to the liquor store.
I'm going to go to the liquor store.
The center of the community.
As I was coming back from the liquor store, from a distance of several houses down, I see this man walking with my green jacket, handing it to my mom as she meets him in the middle of the street.
You left your jacket.
I left my jacket. Her father did it. And my mom waited till I got home. And then, of course, I got the belt, some verbalization, the belt, some verbalization. So we all got stories, right? But that was it. After that, because of my mentality that no one really wants me, I had a terrible high school. No dates, no girlfriends, nothing. I know that some people will go, no way, absolutely.
That was my high school experience.
Yeah, man. It was just
that's my mom was always saying, you can't bring no children home here, and
right.
all those little messages. But like I said, I remained hopeful.
We all do, man. We all do. And then we get exposed because this is the part that Mario, and he's talking about the age of consent, but the part that Mario absolutely knows is that when you're 15 to 16, you're trying to get out. You're pushing the narrative, and that's men and women, or girls and boys. They're trying to get out of jail. And when I say that, you know what that means.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the girls, like we used to say they ready to give it up out of both pants legs. I mean, it's a fight to hold your children back. They listen to you, but they want to do it. They're drawn to do it.
So
okay.
I will tell you this: when it comes to consent, now I look back, I wanted to get out of my parents' home so bad. I think I just made the worst decision. Fucking joined the army. What kind of shit was that?
Oh my God.
And then they told me I was going to be in the band. I only saw the band one time, and that was when I graduated.
Wow.
So
wow.
I wish, my mother tried to tell me, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm about to man up.
Yeah.
Go to the army, protect the country, protect the family name.
It was your getaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, escapism. I did the same thing. Sat in the recruiting office because I said, like, girls don't like me. I get talked about in the neighborhood. My father doesn't want me to join. He fought in Korea, and I'm going. I just got to do something else. It was my getaway, and thank God I didn't sign. I walked out of that recruitment's office, and things changed.
So see, consent can go both ways, right?
Consent, well, we don't think of it that way, but it can. Now let's consider this. The age of consent varies internationally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to there because here's where
Younger.
Omari, the blackness, Omari. So let me talk about, let's start at the lowest and come up.
Oh my God.
Most countries require young people to be at least 14 before having sex, but there are exceptions
And we know which ones.
to that rule. Let's talk about the exceptions to the rule. Angola and the Philippines both set the age of consent at 12, which is the lowest in the world. That's Angola and the Philippines both set the age of consent at 12. Several other countries, including Niger and Japan, have designated the age of 13
So what? But
as the age of
so
consent.
what joy? What? I don't know. I mean, I just
Okay.
can't imagine that being fun or intimate in any kind of way.
Like I said, I'm not trying to throw that out there, but do you have a historical precedent at which
Right.
age women were married?
Right.
They were pretty much married by 15.
Right.
And I can tell you as the pediatrician, I don't want to scare you, but I have seen 13-year-olds where I go like, all I can tell you, because I'm thinking if I'm looking at you, Lord knows.
Right.
See, if I was your daddy, I'd be freaking out.
Right.
I'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
Because you can't help it. I'm looking at them. They 13. They are grown. Okay? Physically, they are grown. Now, you can talk about their mind. I'm telling you, Mother Nature has them equipped, okay, for motherhood, but not emotionally. So, internationally, it ranges from 13 to 20. Some people, in some countries, which is interesting, there are countries in Asia and Africa that actually require you to be married before you can give consent. So you can't even give consent. Let me find it. You can't even give consent until you married. Okay? You can't even give consent. Let me see. So in Pakistan, Iran, Sudan, you got to be married to give consent. Let me see. I'm going to turn the page. Oh, there's even more. Here's the ones that all say you got to be married to give consent. Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, the Arab Emirates, Libya, Oman, Kuwait, Qatar, and Maldives. You must be. But here, the age of consent is reported to be as low as 11 in parts of Nigeria, 12 in the Philippines, 12 in Angola, 13 in Japan, 13 in Niger, 14 in China, 14 in Brazil, 14 in Bangladesh, 14 in Congo, 14 in Germany, 14 in Italy, 14 in Myanmar, 14 in Colombia, 14 in Peru, 14 in Madagascar, in Malawi, Ecuador, and Chad is 14.
So wait, let's go back to the African country.
You have to be married.
So you can, if don't nobody wants you for 30 years, you can't say.
Okay, if some of them you got to be married. Look at this. I can tell you, for
can be-
Bolivia, Portugal, Hungary, Austria, Serbia, Paraguay, Bulgaria, Albania, Estonia, Mauritius, Montenegro, Cape Verde, Micronesia, Liechtenstein, San Marino, those are all 14. When you get to Thailand, France, Poland, North Korea, Syria, Romania, Cambodia, it's 15. It's 15 also in Guinea, the Czech Republic, Greece, Honduras, Sweden, Laos, Denmark, Costa Rica, Croatia, Uruguay, Slovenia, Iceland, Kiribati, Aruba, and Monaco are all 15. In the United States, it's 16, Indonesia, 16, Russia, 16, UK, 16, South Africa, 16, Spain, Algeria, Ukraine, Canada, Uzbekistan, Malaysia, Ghana, Nepal, Venezuela, Cameroon, Australia, all 16. Taiwan, Sri Lanka, Zambia, Kazakhstan, Senegal, Netherlands, Zimbabwe, Belgium, Cuba, Azerbaijan, Belarus, New Guinea, Israel, Switzerland, Togo, Turkmenistan, Singapore, Finland, Norway, New Zealand, Georgia, Mongolia, Jamaica, Armenia, all 16. Whew, Lord, I can't get to 18. There's too many to read. The only people 18 is India, Ethiopia, Egypt, Vietnam, Turkey, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Argentina, Iraq, Ivory Coast, Mali, Chile, Guatemala, Somalia, Rwanda, Benin, Burundi, Tunisia, Haiti, South Sudan, Dominican Republic, Sierra Leone, Nicaragua, Lebanon, El Salvador, Republic of Congo, Liberia, Panama, Eritrea, Gambia, Gabon, Guinea,
So let me ask
Bhutan.
you
Those are all 18. Vatican City is 18. Hey, South Korea is 20, and Bahrain is 21.
So if you explored it further, would it give you any rationale or logistics why these countries even set a particular age? Or is that
A lot of it, I would, and I don't know, and I think a lot of it is cultural, and so therefore the difference. Again, almost every one of them, even though I've given you the legal limits, that is never the same as what is prosecuted.
Right.
It's never the same, because some of the countries that have the high ages are known for doing a lot of stuff, and it's not prosecuted. So it doesn't make any difference what law you have.
Wasn't there an article or a big thing a while back about a bunch of doctors that used to travel to one of the Asian countries just to have sex with these 13-year-old girls and 14-year-old girls?
Well, you know, that exists. I'm sure.
But I mean, they were doing like group tours and shit. Just a bunch.
Yeah, well, you know, where there's a little, there.
It's a lot. Huh?
Yeah, there's going to be
There's a little
little
there's
bit.
a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
and a lot. So again, ladies and gentlemen, that's been our discussion of the age of consent. Got a bunch of stuff. We're going to have a longer broadcast today, and it's going to be a longer broadcast. A lot of stuff going on. We're going to be coming back with Omari Bakari, and then Victor Allen's Ethos, because they got a lot to do. But you know how we do it. Where's my... See, sometimes the buttons get stuck.
Oh boy.
Hey,
How's your Memorial Day?
Playing
Feeling.
from Mario's
Wow.
iPad. 4.
take a musical break. Take a puff. We'll be right back with Omari Bakari and his Java joint. Come on, y'all.
And your feet up, shoes off, kicking on back. Late night, staying up, writing these raps. Engulfed in the summertime, soaking up the sun. Now I'm jet black, yeah, I think I got enough. Alter tops, flip flops, like pink so soft, small braids, Kool-Aid, melon in the shade. Cute boys, first jobs, divas being snobs. Telephone, internet, computer, got my love. Barbecues, pool parties, overnight stays. Little drinking, little kissing, playing these games. Boys trying to back him, then the next day bragging, but you didn't want to kiss him cause he had that dragon. Laughing till you pee, hoping homies don't see. Cut a little grass for some gas money. Chilling at the malls, getting sticky with the paws. You did it for the rush like a rebel with no cause. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, said you looking for applause.
Online dating and cryptocurrency.
It was the summertime to us, it had no flaws. Rebel with no cause, rebel
You
with
would
no
think they would
cause.
not be
You want
related.
attention, said you looking for applause. See, we were kids that all didn't have
You
no
know.
flaws. It was the summertime to had no flaws.
Yes.
Posted at the hoop court 3 straight hours, writing in his skirts with the airbrush flowers. We went to cheer the lads and they appreciated that. And you would almost die when he let you wear his cap. You might have told a lie and abbreviated facts if you came home late and were accused of being baked. Me, I didn't smoke, no, mama, I swear. She's only gonna judge me and you know it ain't fair. Trips to the beauty shop, keeping fresh hair. Blowing $80 at the damn state fair. Beach body surfing with the abs looking perfect. Hitting all the clubs, getting love on the surface. From ice cream cones to the Starbucks stones, to your new best friend, to your breakup song. They all play out like your favorite days. We love the summertime and it ain't gonna change. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, so you looking for applause. See, we were kids of laws, didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to us, it had no flaws. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, so you looking for applause. See, we were kids of laws, didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to had no flaws.
Come on. Damn thing won't act. Okay. Sometimes the technology is not doing what it should do. But what can we say? That's the way it works. We're having a wonderful day here in Los Angeles. We are in View Park. And as we so often say, we may not be in the ghetto, but we can see the fence. Beautiful day. Alexa, what's the weather in View Park, California?
Currently, in View Park, California, it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today, you can expect partly sunny weather, with a high of 73 degrees and a low of 58 degrees. By the way, I can help you jumpstart your summer reading goals with this month's free Audible book. Just ask Alexa, what's free from Audible?
Yeah, blow me, Alexa. I don't. Just leave us alone.
I can't wait till I get home.
Yeah, this, what? What? If you can't cuss out Alexa, who can you cuss out?
Siri.
Cuss out Siri.
Yeah, shit.
That's right. That's right. I'm trying to get all my sound effects in here. That one works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there are those times when you start upon a new journey, and part of the new journey is for us is welcoming new individuals into the fold who start to work with us. We don't get them very often. But I am so proud to introduce you to this one because we all feel like it represents a turning point in Pac Stereo, and it represents a turning point in all of our lives to finally have someone to help and work with us. So first of all, let me give you Amari Bakari. Let him tell you about what he's got going.
Yes, thank you, Mario. I'm excited about being here working with Vic and Mario with the morning show. My little segment is called Morning Java and a Joint, because that's why I want to get up, get my coffee going, a good joint. But the topics, always won't be on cannabis and marijuana. Like this morning, I want to talk about historic East Towson, one of the oldest black communities in the state of Maryland. It was founded in 1865. And all of the descendants and the founders of this community came from a nearby plantation, the Hampton Plantations, which is approximately 5 miles away. Recently, I've been working on a project with them and the organization NESHA, the Northeast Towson Improvement Association, under the leadership of Nancy Goldring. They have been developing a plan to create a trail that connects the Hampton Plantation to historic East Towson, and the campaign is called Mapping the Road to Freedom. So after working with this organization, I discovered that almost every state has, in the South particularly, or below the Mason-Dixon line, have these communities that are struggling to survive, that people are holding on to the land, and a lot of this property is prime real estate.
So I just want to make sure, because this, when you first brought this to me, Omari, historic East Towson, these are communities founded by free slaves.
Yes.
Who today, their ancestors are now being impacted because it's being recognized
Yes.
that they were founded by free slaves.
Yes.
And that involves some money
All money,
and government.
all that. And a lot of these people, the Freedmen Bureau failed a lot of these people and their communities
Wow.
and the development of their communities. And with all that, these communities continue to thrive. They've owned their own land. They've built businesses there. One of the things that, the state of Maryland had what was called the doctrine of exclusion. And what it said was any Negro, their children, nor their children's children could ever participate in the wealth of the state of Maryland. Well, so we knew.
Say that again. Wait a minute. I hate to interrupt you.
Yeah, so
But that was a big deal to me. The doctrine of
the
exclusion.
doctrine of exclusion, which was written in 1638, said that, and it was written by the colonizers of the state of Maryland. They made a decision early on that black people could never participate in the wealth of that state. The doctrine read, no Negro, their children, nor their children's children could ever participate in the wealth of the state of Maryland. Well, what we discovered, so we knew that document existed, but we never seen it applied until we started working with the historic East Towson community. One of the descendants of the Hampton Plantation donated a parcel of land to what's now known as Goucher College. Well, Goucher College has what they call the Hallowed Ground Project. And one of the first things that they did with this project, they sought to change the wording on the deed that said, no African, their children, nor their children's children could ever own this land. And this was the family was the Ridley family. So, we're discovering, we call it the corpus delicti, the body of evidence of what went on with these people once they were no longer enslaved by these plantation owners, and they began to develop and carve out a quality of life that, was suitable for the change that they were now going. They were self-sufficient. They owned their own businesses. The first school still exists in that community that was built as now a community center. The oldest church still exists in that community. As a matter of fact, Nancy Goldring is a descendant of the guy that built the first church there. So there are descendants still living in this community from this plantation.
Now, what you were explaining to me is that, and this is one of the things that we have to give some homage to, because some people get very cynical. But let's just give it a moment, maybe to put the cynicism aside. The white residents within this community are making an effort to recognize the black contributions. And you were telling me, in terms of the local community leadership, they're participating in programs for Juneteenth and other things for the future, where hopefully we'll get a chance to even go out and cover some of that.
Well, we're looking forward to that. So I think one of the things that's particularly interesting about this community, Nancy Goldring is one of just the sharpest sisters I've ever met. She's a great thinker, a great speaker, a great leader. She's provocative, innovative. She would be like an Angela Davis on steroids. I would, if I had to describe her and the impact she has. But one of the things that's happening to these communities across the South is that they're all under attack. They're all under siege. It's either by The Department of Transportation wants to run a highway through the community, or the land is suitable for some type of resort, much like Bruce Beach. And in this case, they just fought off a developer who wanted to build like a 60-unit low-income building in the middle of this community. So it went to court. They fought it out in court, and they won. And so the alternative was, so now what would you do with this land? So Nancy suggested, well, let's make a trail. Let's build a trail that connects the Hampton Plantation to historic East Towson, and on that trail, we'll use technology to tell the backstory on how all this came about.
Wow.
You know, they have artifacts still on the plantation. So the Hampton Plantation was known in Maryland. It was, in fact, one of the cruelest plantations in the state. If you had an enslaved person and he needed to be disciplined, you would take him to the Hampton Plantation. All the enslaved ancestors on the Hampton Plantation wore iron collars around their neck. And if they became troublesome, that iron collar would have spikes on it where they would put bells on it. So whenever you moved, these bells would go off. Now, if you can imagine having, and this was the plantation was a dairy, but they also were ironwork. They made iron. So if you can imagine what all that was like. So we're trying to capture all of that now. And we want to tell these stories. We want to tell these stories, connect the churches. We know that the churches, the HBCUs, and the museums, we have the data. We can tell the stories, and there's still families around that can share these stories that become that, body of evidence.
So everybody pay attention and be waiting. We're introducing Omari right now. The programming that we're developing with him is going to be forthcoming very shortly. We're even talking about a new version of The Quiet Storm, some of the musical things. So I want to give it up, once again, give it up, my boy, Omari Bakari. All right, so we're going to divert for a second and get ready to come back for Victor Allen's Ethos. You've been listening to Morning Coffee with Mario. What can I say? What can I say? Coming back, Ethos. You've heard about everything today. What's coming up, Vic?
After the two subjects you guys do, I feel like I'm going to be playing in a sandbox. Okay. So, hey, listen. Just know that I'm going to talk about community, bring you a little something about a business entrepreneur who's doing more than just the business, and then a little bit of what they call enjoyment, and then the challenge that I go through in life when somebody says, kiss the tree.
We'll be right back.
You make me wanna fly, oh. It always stays traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Feel the wind blowing through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Pour it on, boy. Take me to the night. And ain't no stopping. So what's the use in trying? Destination, baby, all I know is that you and me were meant to be. Never let me go. This traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. It's crazy, it's going through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. I got backup. I think it's a conspiracy person.
I got it.
All right, man.
I never thought that love makes you crazy. I never thought
want to know, did you hug a tree, Vic? Damien said, did you hug a tree?
Kissing them, might as well. Certainly close enough.
Oh, you guys are just wrong. Y'all just wrong. This is a true story.
Yes. Morning coffee. The new iteration. That's Love Shadow. Crazy Love.
I like the way
Yes.
that you make me feel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and now we come to the segment of the show that we have come to really embrace and look forward to.
You mean dump on? You're right. See, the focus. Get ready. Watch what he's going. He's going to dump all on my segment because I'm trying to be focused like you guys. Bring that conscious spirit. But watch what he does.
Ladies and gentlemen, Victor Allen's Ethos.
You know what, man? I'm kind of. This is difficult to sit back and not talk about sports, man. It's just weird.
We'll talk about sports.
Well, but see, that's not the. I mean, what were we doing most of the holiday weekend? Tuning in, and specifically to Boston and Miami. But it's not part of the ethos, so I can't talk about it because I can't carry any weight and in depth, and nobody's listening to me anyway. All right. My journey as it is always to sit back and follow community. And in a serious thought, every week I go to what I call the cultural identification of the African American community, and that's Leimert Park. I will go down there I don't wait until an event. I just go. So about a few months ago, they had a Stocker Street collective where they're talking about the new media center that's going to be coming over here in Stocker and Santa Rosalie. And I met this guy, and he was just in a little area by himself, serving refreshments. And I started talking to him, and I said, oh yeah, I have the cafe. I have a little cafe. And it turned out to be something where I said, man, I'm gonna follow up with you and learn more about it. But I didn't know it was on Degnan. It was the Hot and Cool Cafe. So Anthony, I'm talking to Anthony. I said, man, I'm gonna follow up. Well, I did, and I went down this weekend, and I got lucky because I literally was going. This place has this different kind of energy. It's not just a place for coffee and refreshments. It is now becoming a social center, and it's a hub. And you don't get into the let me see how good the food is, right?
Wow.
You get into the spirit of it. So let me
Yes.
tell you what, just for Anthony's position, what he represents, and then I can't wait to follow up with him and go back down there at this point while it's been a few months since I talked to him. Okay, Anthony Jolly Jr. basically has 6 years of experience in owning an independent coffee business with multiple revenue streams, including living on and sourcing from single estate farms, importing, roasting, and wholesale and retail sales, including internationally. But you know how we are sometimes. We can look at the brick and mortar and we can't tell the depth of it. Also, if you do go to the website, which many probably have already, there's a social consciousness that's there as well. And I would say to go through the website, you do your own research to learn more about it. He represents more than just I'm serving you a product. It's what he represents, period. So while down there, I said, well, let me take a moment. And I got lucky, and there was a performance. And I said, I'm going to take a chance because it's an independent performance. And it was a particular individual who was speaking in front, outside, before his performance, talking about how he was a writer, and this deals with the background of writing music and everything Mario can relate with. And he said, I got lucky one day by writing my music, and Issa Rae contacted me and said she would like to use one of my songs on Insecure. So he's telling the story that you never give up, but you quit being complacent and take a chance. So I decided to go ahead and say, hey, look, let me see how you perform. And he's performing in the cafe. So I get to get 2 for 1. Now I hope you guys can enjoy this because his name is Darius Lowkey. I don't know if Mario has the video up already. If it's there, this is, I hope this is it. Yes, it is. That's my ethos.
So we're gonna make this song called Progressive, but specifically being
Smoke like Morse code. I don't see nobody like torso. Niggas left you, you a so-so. Pussy niggas feeling like prayer. I be thinking you on my tail. These niggas been on my dick. Talk about the Kobe Hill. No balance on me with some will. Solo when I'm walking through. Used to do it for the pros. Now I do it for my muses. Now I do it for the ones who don't have a voice when it proves. Nowadays I do it for the ones who said I was a news. I made a put my dick. I made it cold my mouth. I made her throw my dick. I made her cold my mouth. Now I do it for the ones who don't have a voice when it proves. Bounce, bounce, off the porch, you made my sons are buried. Off the porch, you made my sons are buried. Off the porch, you made my sons are buried. Off the porch, you made my sons. That's why I'm just saying, bitch.
Yeah. I see some females. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes,
that was
sir.
nice.
Hey,
Yeah,
look.
Charlie has a nice place for it.
Oh man, it is.
You know what? Can I share this on my Sankofa?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was nice, Vic.
Yeah. Thank you, my brother. Hey, look,
You know what? Can I share
didn't-
this on
I didn't
my
do
San-
anything but go down there, man. And I always say, keep your camera live. Always. Most people do photos. I click video, and to me, this was unexpected. And when he was speaking to people outside, the thing that got me more is what he said about you can't be in Los Angeles if you're here and you're in music and you're about culture and not perform in Leimert Park. He says you have to perform
You have to
here.
perform there.
And so what it did is made me think about other areas, and I went to say, where's your ethos? And I looked at Chicago because I think they got the Brownsville area. We know about DC. Almost anything around is going to be a community of arts and culture. New York has Harlem, the Renaissance historically. And so what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of weeks, I got more music coming from him. And I'm going to try to identify by learning more of what I call similar Leimert Parks throughout the United States, because I don't know enough of them.
Vic.
So that was just part of why I sat back and said, let my Memorial Day recognize my father who served, but also recognize what's happening as a celebration. And then this is the lane that we're in. Mario and I come from the music. You definitely come from the music. So I think you need to keep it on par that this is something that inspires people. And to me, he wasn't worried about how many people were there. He was just saying, I'm talking knowledge first.
Yes.
And come follow me while I perform. So I hope you guys enjoyed that part of it. Any feedback from you guys wanting to twerk?
Well, I just got
anything?
one, no twerking, but I just had one comment.
What is
and
that?
I'd have to correct you on, you were naming little areas in different cities. The only thing happening in D.C.
Right.
is HU, baby.
Yeah. Oh. See, isn't there something called U?
Ain't nothing else happening there. HU.
Wait a minute. Now, let me just say something. Is there a place, an area called U Street or U something like that?
U
U
Street.
Street.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's where the
see?
holes was.
Oh, stop.
Well, it's a different U Street now.
Different now.
Oh, my
It's
God.
different now.
Matter of fact, that they don't call it Chocolate City anymore. They
That's
call
right.
it Chocolate Chip City.
So see, you got to type that in. You guys got to recognize.
But I assure you, the
Right.
only thing happening in D.C.
Right.
is the Mecca.
Okay. I got you. But see, this is part of the education. I don't know it all. And so for me tonight, to go somewhere else and try to learn it, I need to know about what's happening in my backyard. It's not the only place, you know. And I
Keeping
think
an eye on Black L.A. I
yeah,
love it.
Yeah, man. Got to, man. Now, last week, I had what I call my moment. And my moment was I gave you guys a shell of what they call a challenge when you're dating. And I didn't give you all the content because I didn't have enough time to put it all together. So I gave you guys a shell of a performance. Well, I got challenged. And this challenge was there's this woman we call VR says she was on the hunt. She's on the hunt for hugs and kisses. And so part of that I learned is what type of hugs and kisses. And so the video
What
will-
you hugging and what you kissing.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
there you guys go.
No
And
wonder.
so I said, first of all, let me just go ahead and show you guys, did I accomplish the feat that she expected from me? Because this is real. This is true. None of this is pre-planned. And this is what she did. So I hope you enjoy this. And then hopefully you'll recognize that you're going to always be challenged by the unexpected. Go right ahead, Mark. Do your thing. I'm not.
You don't spoil me.
Try to get one what you want.
I'm on the prowl. I'm in my backyard. I have nothing else to do. Okay, baby, I'm going to hug the tree now. Mr. Tree, can I ask you to tell me a secret? I just kissed the tree, baby.
I'm not hugging no damn tree. Oh, so my challenge was
Yeah.
You a bad
Mr.
mother.
Allen.
Victor, you've done it again.
wait,
Damn
man,
it.
I don't know if I did, man. I didn't kiss or hug the tree. So, and listen, she challenged me. She said, "Go hug a tree." I said, "If I get outside somewhere," and I was in Mario knows this area. We got a little park down the hill right there.
There's a line of guys at that tree trying to kiss that tree right now because that girl's.
Well, wait a
What are you
minute.
talking about? There's a line out there.
Let me tell you something. There's a post to this after the fact where I couldn't. Because I said, if somebody sees a black man hugging or kissing a tree, it's over. It's over. So I couldn't do it. But somebody recognized.
It's all about the wood.
Somebody recognized VR's talent.
You remember how Richard Pryor described what that line was like?
That's right. Which line?
Okay. You're right.
Up next.
See, I gotta give it up to VR because there's a story where you guys are gonna see this. I might as well set it up, not wait for it because I know we're moving quickly. But
No, we
VR,
ain't.
yeah, well, see, I got to because I can't give you guys no room because I know you'll dump on it. I got to get through this real quick before Mario gets there. So there was a video that Vanessa Reed, put out on TikTok. Well, it got picked up by somebody. And so it got picked up by somebody who, when you see the video, it's short, you will realize, okay, wow, what's happening? Well, Snoop Dogg, and I won't tell you anything else when we play the video, recognized this cat. He recognized this cat. And you're going to, don't tell me the video's not there, Mario. Oh my God, it's not.
You put a link to a TikTok. Though.
That's good. That's good enough because we can go there because it does. You don't have the video, and I'll put the video in the link, and you can go down the page a little bit, or excuse me, scroll, and I'll tell you which video it is. And you keep going, Now go. Okay, right there where it says 19.4. Okay. Where you see a video that says 19.4K. There you go. All right. Snoop Dogg actually looked at this guy because of what he was attempting to do.
Tell me what.
I said, well, that's okay. What he's attempting to do, and he said, look, let me go post what you're doing because this dude is being bold by showing himself. And when Snoop put it, I believe, on his link to his TikTok, he blew up. So this guy got 7 million likes already. And he's got
dances or something, right? I saw something with him the other day.
right. And so he looked at Vanessa Reed and decided, I want to.
He got 4 titties.
Can we just play the video? Just play the video.
Hey, Kong. King Kong. Hey, Kong. Hey, Kong. King Kong.
No. Okay, now wait.
Now I got 2 titties,
Wait a minute.
but he got 4.
King Kong.
No, wait a minute.
Looks like my ex.
Let me stop. Let me just say this. Let me say this.
King Kong.
Better stop calling out VR because King Kong might come.
See,
Then we.
now
how
I know
we
you guys
stop
gonna.
it?
I know you guys gonna have a challenge with this. So here's the challenge. Okay. And it's almost at 20,000, and that was just posted yesterday. So it is one of the fastest moving on his last several day posts. Now, here's the question. How bold would any of you in this room? See, how bold would any of you in this room post yourself?
I'll show my
shirtless?
titties if Omari shows his titties.
I ain't doing it.
You're not showing. We know. Okay, so that's it. We're not showing no titties. Mine are sensitive. I don't mind. You can kiss on them.
Wait a minute. Okay. Wait a minute. Now,
We need to get Steve Harvey in here. He said he'll be a gorilla. He'll put on a gorilla suit.
now, here's my question. I will say a number, and you say no or yes. Shirtless, $1,000.
No.
Wait, that's what you're paying right now?
Oh yeah, I'll do it.
For $1,000? Yes.
500.
Yeah.
I'm having 500.
250.
Yeah.
I'll go for
100.
Okay.
How did we get down to 100? This started out
Oh, for
as
the
a
full
grand.
Monty now.
Right. See, I'm saying.
I might show you a butt cheek.
So,
See, he broke us down though. He started off
That's right.
as a grand.
Yeah, that's
And he
the
got you
idea.
down to 100. I wasn't going there for
There's
it.
a negotiation technique.
that's right. Listen, the reason why I'm saying that is because, even with VR, I said, you love what this is doing. And I said, you understand that this guy posts several times a day and has a community that really goes, he's not ashamed and he's enjoying it. He's got one where he does, Mario has this. Mario has the Star Wars saber.
I try not to.
Well, he got one where he's dancing, and I can't dance that good. I'm like,
Right.
fuck, how'd he do that shit with his big ass?
Yes, wait a minute.
Big ass is part of it. That's what
Don't-
keeps you in
don't give the-
balance.
Don't give the face. Don't do the face.
Got to cap the cheeks.
But he just swings the lightsaber, and he's already close to 500 1,000.
We got to get him to come on and dance.
Okay, stop.
We all got this got to be outside.
He can leave. We could.
Okay.
We all dance with
There
him.
ain't enough room in
I'm-
there.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. You got to be closer to him.
Okay. Okay.
But he'll
Stop,
knock
stop.
me down. I'm barely. Oh, that's.
Say stop. Hey, you guys, I have a. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. I just say you guys got to see what you should be doing is applauding this brother. That's what I'm
No,
doing.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm applauding him.
That's why I'm there. He's off the chain.
Because you guys are only $100 away from doing it yourself.
No, I'm 250. At least
250.
250. Shit.
What can I say? I'm a cheap date.
Best, and if I have to dance, the best I can do is I can cha-cha without doing my crossover. I can't get the crossover.
Like I said, when your shirt's off, don't get mad when all the ladies start hitting you up on WhatsApp. Okay.
Oh, that would be bad.
All right. So here's the freedom. The freedom is you will see more dancing from me, and the challenge will be when will you guys first drop your dancing videos wherever they are, and then we're closing my ethos.
What can we say?
Anybody gonna dance anytime in the future?
Well, you know what? So I was going to talk about that because now that I've had the stem cell therapy, I'm moving a lot better, and I can dance. I can cha-cha. I just can't.
We'll be
do
the
little-
judge of that.
I just can't do.
We'll
the
be the
crossovers.
judge.
Trying to cross over
Right.
gets me all twisted up, and my balance kind of
Okay.
awkward there. But just going back and forth.
As long as you fall face forward into the stuff.
See, there we go. See, we're going. See, we're going. See, I know that the women are interested in knowing how men move. I already recorded a
Yeah.
couple of videos for myself, so I'm gonna get over this challenge because I know they're waiting for it from all of us. That's my ethos.
How we move.
Victor Allen's Ethos.
Ethos, baby. Ethos.
That's it.
Vic, I gotta give it to you, man. I just love the videos you created. With
Playing
that
from
shit.
Mario's
Thank you, man. I
iPad.
appreciate
4.
it.
Well, what can we say? It's been a day. We got some requests. Some people reached out to me about a post that was up on Facebook. So I thought that maybe before we went out, I would show this. It's been a wonderful show indeed. Victor Allen bringing that ethos, and Omari Bakari, well, we don't know. He brought something out.
He brought wealth and
He
knowledge.
brought wealth and kindness and the Afrocentric focus. And once again, power to the
All
people.
power to the people, baby.
Right.
Power to the people.
All power to the people.
So as we go out, I did a little piece for all the parents. And let's take a moment. We're gonna, because the parents were writing in, and they were like,
Oh, I
let's
get
hear
it.
the parent piece. Good morning. It's not even morning, it's afternoon, but I'm outside, sitting at the table, looking and thinking, playing music, Robert Glasper, mellow piano stuff. And it has me thinking about parents, many of you. I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why my mind takes me on the journeys that it does. I have absolutely no idea about why I think about the things that I do at the times that I do. No idea. But today, this morning, as I'm having my coffee and a little smoke, I'm thinking about parents. I really, really have known parents. I mean, really, really. 30 years pediatric emergency. I've seen them at their best and at their worst. 3 o'clock in the morning with 104 fever. Terrible cough. I've seen them. I've seen them. I've seen parents. I've watched you struggle with the job It is a job that no one really can prepare you for. It helps if you come from a big family. But the job of parenthood is 24/7, full-time, overtime, all the time. And the thing about parents, they don't really get the thanks that they are due. Your children will arrive at that one day of how much they owe to you, and then they will tell you. And they will say, "Oh, Mom, oh, Dad, Grandma, thank you." We do that. One day we somehow awaken to the idea that we have been blessed by people who have cared for us our whole lives. God's grace. Grace meaning that you didn't earn it. God's grace means that you are given things that you did not earn. That is the grace of God. And parents are so often a symbol of that. Mine were. My mother and father, the most perfect parents for me, who guided me in this journey and guide me still. I don't think my parents ever gave me one bit of bad advice in my entire life. My entire life. So I sit here this morning thankful for my parents, Hubert and Evelyn. And I'm thinking of the parents that I've seen in the middle of the night with those sick children. Wow. A loving parent will do without. They will go hungry to feed their children. They will deny themselves all the joys and things and material gifts that they want in order to make the world better for their children. They will lie awake at night wondering, hoping, trying to figure out how to do things better, to make things better for their children. It's Sunday morning. I'm having a smoke, thinking about things. One of the things I'm thinking about is a bunch of you parents. God bless you. I'm a 30-year pediatrician, 30 years in the pit, that emergency and critical care. 30 years. And one of the best things about it, we're parents. The same things that people talk about in pediatrics, they say the parents will drive you crazy. My father told me, son, if you enjoy the things about a specialty that everybody else hates, that's your specialty. Well, guess what? I love parents. I love educating parents about their children. And I had 30 good years of doing that, of educating parents about their children in the middle of the night. And I took it to heart. Lord knows I took it to heart. Thank you, Lord Father, for blessing me with that on this Sunday. That's what I say. Thank you, Lord, for blessing me with the abilities that I had as a physician. And Lord knows I was a very good physician. 30 years. Staring death in the face so many times. Staring death in the face. I know death well. I smelled his breath. And I told him, you're not taking this one. God is my witness. I'm here to fight. I'm here to fight. Long nights, caring for children, critically ill on ventilators. And yet their parents were there, watching and observing while I did my thing. While I did my thing to care for their child. And for the most part, we won. That's right, we won. Overwhelmingly, we won. But anyway, so today, this Sunday, all of you who are parents out there right now, God bless you. All you grandparents that have raised children, when you tired, you already raised your own and you got to raise some more. All the people who adopt and love people from afar, God bless you. You are the people who are making this world a better place. And indeed, it is parents right now who are outraged about the shootings, as you should be. Parenthood. It will cause you to stand up and take a stand when one leg is ailing. Parenthood. You will drag that leg to get what is necessary for that child. Today, this Sunday, I celebrate you. I celebrate all you parents. God bless you. And may the Lord bless you forever. God bless.
That was excellent. You know, I think one of the things we talked about early on was the experience that we have and our ability to share those experiences by becoming good storytellers. And that was an excellent story, my brother. That you know, I've been thinking about how do we get our peers to share their experiences. We had discussed having this Mecca Mastermind series where Howard alumni can share their experiences with other people that we can grow and learn from. And that was one of those experiences that you just shared. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanking those parents once again, you know, in the process, people say, and they have said, you know, service is good for the soul. So I got the experience that you think that I was doing something for them, but never, never forget what they were doing for me.
Absolutely.
That changed me. All of those people changed me. And I am happy to say, in the beginning, I told myself I was never going to protect myself from the people. I said, I'm going to allow myself to feel. Even if it hurts me as a physician, I'm going to allow myself to feel. I'm going to know you. When I'm fighting for you, I'm going to know you. So it's a different thing, but that was the wonderful thing because you can do it like that, at the bedside. At the bedside, because the parents would look in my eyes and they knew what I was about. And I was about saving that child, okay? That was for real. So thank you for thanking me, and thank Father for all of us.
Mario, go ahead and hit that button, the applaud button.
Come on. Get ready. Morning coffee. Let me grab my guitar. That's the way we do stuff. Hey. Come on.
First off, I'm not your regular dude. I bust moves like a young MC. Yeah, sorta, that would be me. Got me thinking about putting down the mic one day. Then I get some more
Morning
love.
coffee, y'all.
Gotta play. Hey, what can I say? I'm a Leo to the finish, man. I love God, so my faith won't diminish me.
Happy
Once
Memorial
I step up
Day,
to the
y'all.
mic, I speak truth. Hip hop wasn't designed to expose the black youth, but somewhere along the lines we dropped the ball. Yeah, I mean that man in the mirror, yeah, that ball dude. But now I'm back to right the wrongs of my past world. So let me walk this off my list like my name's Earl. Articulate my thoughts clearly like Professor Les.
Yes.
Do you remember Rap City with Deja and Les? I'm looking at the front door, bless the main source. You're full yet, wait till I hit you with the main course. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be in the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be in the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I'd rather listen to Tribe or shit alone. Yeah, you like my raps, but really I write songs. I like to do it like this once in a while to show some versatility and make you all smile. It's been a long time coming, I know. I feel it too. The more I take a break, it's like the more I break through. With my time with Space Boy Funk, I'm on point. You bless this microphone every time I in the pad. I face the bad head on. Skate inside the music, see my diary's a song it's on. Till I write my next verse, then I go again. Into the studio, I feel I gotta flow again. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be in the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I I was spitting when you was a kid. You doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. They say they get me, I don't think they ever got me. My name's Kowalski, but they call me Kawasaki. Online I'm funds, but in real life I'm more like Shashi or Cola. I told you, I'm funky like granola. Bars, can't you see that I'm a star? Who pumps his own gas in the cold really fast? I pass on your gold digging stash. I'd rather make my own money, not advance me loan money. I was spitting when you was a kid. You doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid. You doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. So there you go. Nobody's got my DNA. Nobody's got my DNA.
Nobody's got my DNA. Alexa, play broadcast transition. See ya.
Your playlist, Broadcast Transition,
See
on
ya,
Amazon
people.
Music.
See ya. Oh, yeah. See ya.
Gotta go.